Okay, so I'm gonna try to do more videos on my build, so that way people can have an understanding of maybe how I think, what I kind of attack, and whatever. So I did a video the other night, kind of did an overall video of the car. So obviously in the same condition. However, I did cut into my rear plexiglass, and so I came up with a few issues. So the thing is I got to make sure everything is transitioning from the snout down to it, so that way, you know, no air gets up under here and tries to push upward for whatever reason, even though it is vented on the other end, and it'll be a straight pass through. I still want the air to go up and over the plexiglass. So I'm gonna have to fabricate something. That's why I got these little chips right here in order to add to the roof scoop. The door is going to come up a little bit, but these are all the little nuances that you deal with fabrication. It's one thing to have an idea and you're way back over here, but how does things tie in around it is what's important too, right? For the design, the ergonomics of it. The other thing too that I have to figure out is, well, a few things just ran through my head. So this area here has to be down. So this is like its natural state, right? So this has to be down to be contoured with the body of the car, and that's the reason why there's like an inch deficit between the height of where the blue is to the top of the glass. So as I mentioned, I'm gonna fabricate something coming off of the roof scoop to go up here, so that way you kind of don't see it unless I was pointing out to you. Those of you who are watching the video will be able to know. I cut the plexiglass so that way it also be continued right here too. So that's gonna be another 1/8 inch that's gonna be taking up space. So when this comes down, it'll still match up to that. This, as I told you, this gap has to be recut and married up with the rear deck. So this needs to be higher. This needs to be higher. I've done this before actually a couple of times. That's the reason why you see actual fiberglass right here too. So I've had to do it, but now I'm having to do it, and it'll be the final time that I would do it, because I already know that everything is in place as far as the rear deck is concerned. That's never going to be moved. So I actually have a reference. So my door is a reference. The end part is a reference. So it's just a matter of adjusting the center. No big deal. And so as we get up here, that's what I know I'm up against. So I'm trying to debate whether or not I want to put 2 screws right here. I don't have any screws showing on the body of the car. I kind of want to really kind of keep that consistent. I've got elevator bolts behind here that go into the holes. You can see that one back there that goes into the holes through the plexiglass, so that way it's affixed from underneath, and it's going to be nice and clear. It's functional, but these are things, again, you have to engineer or figure out, like, well, what's the method of attachment? So I'm trying to figure out, do I really want to have bolts on the top, or do I want to try to figure out something that's going to clamp it down on the side that's really, really subtle? And you can't see it, but it's functional. It takes a little bit of work, because then it's like, well, how do you fix it to the actual part, right? It gets tricky. So 2 bolts is a simple solution. Torque it down. It's going to be exactly where I need it to be at all times. But then it's like, well, okay, how decorative do we make it? Do we countersink it into the plexiglass? Is something going to be sticking up, you know, but decorative or whatever, like the titanium screws? These are all the things that you think about, but you don't have that much margin right here to work with either to countersink and do all that. And then you're putting pressure on that, and it might crack. If it cracks, then that's that much more money that you're going to have to spend to replace the whole thing, because that's going to be real ugly quick, because you're going to have the vibration of the motor and the heat and all that. So these are the things that you have to snowball out, at least I do, in coming up with a solution for a design. So that's where I am now. I take pictures of stuff like this, study it, marinate in my head, so that way I can come back and hit it hard. But still, making the cut is all nice and even. I also realized too that I added this contour on my snout, and so this one sticks out a little bit more than the other side, actually by a 1/2 inch. So I'm gonna have to either sand this down or add it on the other side. Most likely I'll add it, because it makes a big difference on the gap right here when you're standing behind the car and you're looking at it. You're like, why is it off? So I know I have to make that change. It's also lifted right here too, because I have countersink bolts. Excuse me, not countersink bolts, the elevator bolts that go into the other roof scoop. So again, you don't see any kind of bolts on the outside. But I'm gonna have to change the holes because it was a little bit off as it made it to the rear of the car. So I found that out by looking at the back and having a center part. I know I can trust the template of my glass that I had cut. So by it being off, I was like, okay, the snout has to move. So when I pulled it up, I was able to re-engage it and realize that, you know, that was the problem. You always have to flush out measurements to figure out like what's going on. You can't just keep cutting in one area, keep cutting the plexiglass so that way you can fit the car when that wasn't the problem. I believe wholeheartedly it's so important to realize when you have a reference that you can trust when you're cutting something or making something. That's why I told you my rear deck, I know it's all locked in place. I got my locks here, lock up front. So I know it's not gonna move. Everything is straight and clean, real simple, you know, with the latch. Love it, man. So I can trust that. So anything else that is off, then I know it is the problem, not the ladder or whatever. So that is applicable to no matter what you do on a car. It doesn't matter what it is. So I try to come with my formulas. I'm gonna try to pass them on to you guys to understand how I go about problem solving and more if I can. So this is what's on my agenda right now. My next agenda is gonna be doing my door locks all over again because that was a headache. That's at least a day. But I'm going to try to take you through some of the challenges I might have in order to get everything lined up and before it works, because right now it doesn't. The door is just sitting here, so the locking mechanism is not locked right now. Although everything is functional, it's just a matter of lining everything up. But I'm going to try to take you through my final stages before I get the body trued up, and so you can understand what I'm going through. But again, any comments, questions, concerns, out of dirt, I don't care. Feel free to post up, and I'll respond to you as much as I can.